function of a chromosome is to carry the genes that tell the body to develop in a certain way or perform a certain function. So this extra chromosome actually disrupts the normal course of development, causing distinct features such as a flat-looking face, which is the most common, an upward slant of the eyes, a low muscle tone, and a not so noticeable but a deep single crease across the center of the palm. But ultimately, all the unique individuals are different and they may have different characteristics. There are also a number of different health risks, such as heart abnormalities, heart defects, hearing problems, Alzheimer's disease, and Alzheimer's disease. People with Down syndrome have many different stages of their lives as they continue to grow, which are pretty equivalent to people just like you and I. First is the early intervention in preschool. These services usually begin soon after birth. As a child without Down syndrome, it is super important for early intervention programs. So as you can conclude, it's very important for a child without Down syndrome or with Down syndrome. It enables a child to participate in new and broader worlds. It also helps to continue to grow in their self-awareness. Next comes their elementary and middle school years. There's actually an act called the Disability Education Act, the IDEA, that consists of the right to free and appropriate education for them. And this is usually when it comes into play is when they're in elementary school and middle school. This additional fundamental education assists in the child to engage in different relationships with others, develop academic skills, and personal identity, self-respect, and also self-confidence. Next comes their high school. Teens with Down syndrome enjoy many different aspects of high school and assisting in the student government, such as athletics and dances. For example, as you see on Facebook, there are a lot of videos of them being managers for sports teams and getting asked to proms in unique ways. Right there shows how important they are to their teams and how much of an impact they put on others. In my opinion, teens with Down syndrome make a great addition to the student government, not only for themselves, but for others as well. And also, according to the National Down Syndrome Congress, most teens graduate with a full diploma, which is a huge accomplishment. After all these education years, there comes their adult life. People with Down syndrome mainly live with some sort of assistance. The National Down Syndrome Society, on the other hand, supports that people with Down syndrome vote, pay taxes, volunteer in places, and also make decisions that affect them in the future, such as their work options. Work opportunities for individuals range from the supported employment all the way to individual employment. When it comes to the state, they're very awesome with supporting people when they enter the work field. People with Down syndrome have also proven themselves to be very great with employment. I work at this place in my hometown called United Friends. It's a place for vulnerable adults, and they work at this place called EF, and it's a place where they work 5 days a week if allowed by their health reasons. It's state funded. So right there is just an example of an organization that helps them feel as if they're independent and very proud of how they make their own money. In conclusion, from what I've learned from working with people with Down syndrome, is that they are as you are there to support them to reach their full potential. With the right support and encouragement, they thrive from birth and all the way throughout their childhood. Early intervention, education, appropriate medical care, and positive public attitudes are all positive aspects to support and encourage throughout their lives. As we can all probably agree, they usually give back far more than what they receive and leave a huge impact on those around them. And their various talents and abilities help them to enhance the world and live very productive lives.